I was 88 years old the day my children told me it was time. They didn't say it harshly, they said it gently. Dad, it's safer. Mom, we just worry about you. We can't keep rushing over every time you fall. They weren't trying to hurt me. They were scared. But no one asked me what I wanted. By the end of that week, I wasn't in my house anymore. The house I paid off after 30 years. The kitchen where Thanksgiving dinners happened. The porch where I drank my morning coffee for decades. Instead, I had a room, a small one, with a bed that wasn't mine. People think you move into a nursing home when you're ready. Most of the time, you're not. Sometimes you need real medical care, and that's different. But sometimes you're just old enough that everyone else is afraid, and fear starts making decisions for you. The first thing you lose isn't your freedom, it's your familiarity. Your recliner isn't there. Your coffee mug isn't there. The window doesn't face the same sunrise you've watched for 40 years. Everything smells like disinfectant and laundry that isn't yours. You wake up, and for a split second, you don't know where you are. Not because your mind is gone, but because your life is. Meals arrive on schedule. Lights go off on schedule. Medications come in little paper cups on schedule. You stop deciding, and slowly you stop initiating. You're no longer Frank, who worked construction for 42 years. You're room 214. You're the fall risk. Your needs assistance. Staff rotates. Faces change. Nobody knows your history unless it's on a clipboard. And after a while, you stop telling it because it feels like it doesn't matter anymore. That's when people really begin to fade, not when their bodies weaken, when their identity does. There was a morning I didn't get out of bed, not because I couldn't, because I didn't see the point. Breakfast came and went. No one rushed in. No one asked what was wrong. The hallway noise kept moving, and I realized something that scared me more than aging ever had. The world would keep going without me, and it wouldn't even notice. That's how disappearing starts, not with a medical emergency, with quiet surrender. You stop asking what day it is. You stop watching the news. You stop caring about baseball season. You shrink your world down to the size of your room. And once your world shrinks small enough, you start believing that's all you deserve. But here's the turning point. No one came to rescue me. There was no speech, no dramatic moment, just one honest realization. If I didn't fight for my life, no one else could do it for me. My children loved me, but they were busy raising families, paying mortgages, juggling their own stress. The staff was overworked. They weren't cruel, just stretched thin. If I wanted to feel alive again, it had to start with me. So I sat up and I got dressed. Not in the loose sweatpants laid out for convenience, in my jeans, in my button-down shirt, the one that made me feel like myself. I walked into the hallway, not as a patient, as a man who had lived 88 years. I asked another resident where he was from. I started sitting outside whenever I could, 5 minutes at first, then 10, then every day. I began choosing small things: when to wake up, what to read, who to talk to, when to go outside. Small decisions, but each one reminded me my life still belongs to me. And something interesting happened. When you stop looking defeated, people treat you differently. Staff spoke to me directly, other residents opened up, my kids noticed I had energy again, not because I demanded to leave, but because I no longer looked like someone waiting to die. Eventually, I moved out. It wasn't simple. It took planning. It took conversations. It took proving I was still capable. But I left stronger than when I arrived. Here's what I want every senior in America to hear. Losing your independence rarely happens all at once. It happens slowly, a decision here, a precaution there, until one day you look up and realize your world has gotten smaller. Sometimes that shrinking comes from love, but safety without dignity is a slow kind of loss. You have the right to speak up. You have the right to say, I understand the risks. I want to stay involved. I still get a vote in my own life. Your life doesn't end when your body slows down. It ends when you stop insisting that it's still yours. If you can still choose, choose. If you can still walk outside, go. If you can still drive, cook, vote, laugh, argue, dream, do it. Don't hand over your identity before you have to. I was placed in a nursing home because my family was afraid of losing me. I got my life back because I became more afraid of losing myself. And that fear, it saved me.